Chris came to you with the script, so how long did it take you to go, yes, I want to do this?
I had to find out it was a true story. I read it, I admired the screenplay, I thought it was going to be really difficult to make, and then somebody said, you know, that's based on a real event. I went back and researched it and realized what a good adaptation it was of the actual events, and suddenly then I was, pardon the pun, I was hooked.
You were hooked, I love that. You could so easily have made Moby Dick into this Godzilla, scary creature, but you kind of humanized the whale.
Those marine mammals are very intelligent, so we didn't humanize, but we did give the audience a chance to sort of spend enough time in certain shots to kind of see the intelligence in those eyes, which is something that I've witnessed in whale watching trips. It's a little bit life-altering
totally.
to have that kind of close contact and feel that intelligence.
Mr. Chase, we will stand on. Mr. Lawrence?
Ben, I have to say, I didn't like you in the film, which means you did a great job.
Yes!
Yes! I was surprised to find out that you're a comedian as well.
You're surprised to find out?
Well, because you're not a comedian in the film.
Oh, that's not because you don't think I'm funny?
Well, I do think you're funny, actually.
All right,
and charming as well, you know?
Oh.
So is it nice to kind of step away from the comedy role and step into the serious role?
Yeah, and also they're hard to separate from each other because I think some of the most tragic things are hilarious and some of the funniest things are funny because they're sad. Ron's a very, very funny man. And he has to manage a bunch of angry, sweaty, nasty, hungry, dirty men in a tiny boat. And the best way to do it is through humor. And I learned a lot about comedy from Ron on this, actually.
You had an incredible cast. Wow, what amazing people to work with, and loads of Irish actors in there as well.
These are all great actors and were really dedicated to trying to tell this story with integrity, and they were attracted to the same thing I think I was attracted to. Hell, probably the same thing that Herman Melville was attracted to when he learned the true story of the Essex and wrote Moby Dick.
Prepare to abandon ship.
We can't row our way home. We're gonna have to strip her of his sails and Jimmy rig something.
I shall gather as much food and water as you can carry. You're gonna need all the fresh water you can find.
Did you learn anything about yourself in the process of shooting this film?
Yeah. I don't want to do that again. I want to do the movie where I get all big and fat and eat pasta every day.
Nice.
And also, like, one of the things we learned was, you know, by experiencing a fraction of the discomfort that the real guys would have experienced, it informed our performances, but also just as people, we were kind of like, we can't really complain about having to eat kale for a couple months.
The men can't handle a gust like this, then God help us all.
People ask me about, you know, how gruesome the harvesting scene is, where they're literally chopping up this gorgeous mammal. And did it have to be so graphic? And the answer is yes, because we need to depict it as realistically as possible so that the kind of romance around it can dissolve away. We can see it for what it really was, which is this, you know, heinous act.
The characters are interesting, the themes run deep, and yet there's also this great adventure story.
I really enjoyed it, and thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you
so much.